Views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Bells and horn, heat up the drums, put the costumes on. This is the season for Don Canoe. Time to put on your Russian shoes. Out on Bay Street, downtown Nassau, in a masquerade of roots and culture. Boxing Day and New Year's morn, sounds of bullshit drums, whistles, bells and horns. Don Canoe, man, it sounds so sweet.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd, a little after 11 o'clock in the morning, once again to CA Newry, as we have an open line Wednesday. That means we combine two shows and we have a conversation on what is trending in the news and also what is trending in social media. So that means you can call and what's on your mind. Hopefully we have an opinion on it, and then we can have a debate exchange where you say something, I say something, I say something, you say something, and then we conclude, right? Erin Green is joining me. She have a number of things in the news she says she wants to throw out. Still trending is yesterday, July 1st, was the new laws enacted. We still have it back and forth whether these laws are good for tourism, whether these, whether we as Bahamians are nickel and diming our tourists. And these particular tourists we're talking about are the boaters who comes in and out. They are up in arms. They are up in arms and in fact form various lobby groups, form various Facebook social media groups where they are blasting the government, saying they are hurting Bahamians. Apparently they care a lot about us and they want to expose the government for hurting us as Bahamians. It's an entertaining conversation back and forth. There are a number of Bahamians who are exchanging words with these boaters. And we are planning to invite people from customs. We are planning to invite people in the industry. Are they up in arms? Why are they concerned? Particularly during this year when it is July 4th American holiday, when we have a lot of boaters come here. And they say, man, these new fees can hurt them, especially how people are confused in terms of how it's going to be roll out. But that's a conversation by itself. But if you have an opinion on that, kindly call us. We're happy to entertain it. I think Wednesday we talk about Omni, right? Omni is what does Omni get, Aaron?
That's an AFI, like an authorized financial institute. Of course, that's in the sort of digital currency world, but Omni provides what we call alternate and digital banking services. They're
like a go-between, a surrogate between, instead of having actual money, it's like a virtual money.
Well, one of the services you can use with Omni is that they will facilitate trading of the Bahamian digitally, right? Like a sand dollar. And then I think there are some other things, like you can get like a virtual debit card or credit card.
Okay.
So you could use it online.
And our goal is not to advertising them. Omni just is involved coincidentally with this particular issue. And we have a news article that we want to go into detail to explain what is the frustration these American foreign boaters are having. And we just happen to have to mention them. But we want people to understand what is it exactly. Trending. We have one Bahamian getting deported from the United States. He getting deported again because this boy getting deported like once, 2, 3. I mean, every time they deport him, he's sneaking. I don't even know how he gets into the United States.
See, because you just assuming he's sneaking in. What if he used a teleport machine?
A teleport machine?
You know, Spock, beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
You down.
We have that type of technology now?
Not me.
Yeah.
Definitely not me.
I know how he's sneaking into the United States, but he get there 3 times, and every time they catch him, and they get and not just sneaking in on them, because he might have family and friends there. No, he's sneaking and do foolishness. He's sneaking and then do foolishness, and then get mad why they keep on trying to deport him. And I was around with Aaron earlier. It's the same reason why Trump trying to get rid of you all, you know. You notice who I say here, right? It ain't me. 'Cause I is a good Bahamian. They like me. I have to be in the house. If people like hearing them who like be outside, right? Like making noise and burning down plantations, you gotta send them out their country, man.
Look at this flower I found on the ground low down there. You ain't get no invitation to the U.S. Embassy, eh?
No, I did not get it.
Because when they go low,
Invitation.
show them the flowers on the ground.
You got an invitation again to go to U.S. Embassy?
Yeah, because when they go, Michelle Obama say when they go low, you go higher.
Dwight got an invitation.
I can say Michelle.
I'm sure Candia, DM's got an invitation. But I just said every year I can complain. I want to eat good food too.
You keep saying when they go low, you go high. And I keep telling you, when they go low, you go low with them and show them the flowers on the ground.
Show the flowers on the ground.
Yeah.
All the flowers. All the flowers.
I hope they have dancing at
All
the
the
embassy
flowers.
party too.
Going. Yeah.
The 1 year I ain't got no leg.
But you going?
Yeah, well, I'm
You
hopping.
have no leg.
I'm hopping along.
You hopping along.
Yeah.
Hoppily. Yeah, man. So let's get that story about this Bahamian boy.
All right. Bahamian indicted in U.S. on illegal re-entry charge. 1st of July, 2025. A Bahamian man was indicted in the United States on charges of illegal re-entry by an aggravated felon. According to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, we going to call his name Mr. Newry?
Call his name in the newspaper.
I mean, it in the newspaper,
Then
but
call
I
his
say-
name. No, man, call his name.
Okay. To a press...
Wait, ain't no Newry, right?
Press release from the United States Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Florida. Okay, his last name is Swain. Any relation to Hannah Hasty Tynes?
No, Swain really does.
Okay. Swains. We're not making fun of y'all, Swains. Don't watch nothing. In the Middle District of Florida, Kenthin Lovato Swain, 39, would face a maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison if convicted on all counts. The indictment claims that on May 16, 2025, Swain was found in the United States after having been, quote, removed, close quotes, from the country on 3 occasions, which suggests this is his 4th. Quote, Swain had not received consent of the Attorney General or the Secretary of Homeland Security to reapply for admission, close quotes, the press release said. It also noted that Swain had been previously convicted of multiple felonies, including possession of controlled substances with intent to sell or deliver. The release said the multiple felonies, said the case was investigated by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement removal operations and will be prosecuted by Assistant U.S. State's Attorney Jeff Chang. It said the case is part of, quote, Operation Take Back America, close quotes, which, quote, marshals the full resources of the Department of Justice to repel the invasion of illegal immigration, achieve the total elimination of cartels and transnational criminal organizations, and protect our communities from the perpetrators of violent crime, close quote. It's a key part of U.S. President Donald Trump's immigration agenda, which he has been aggressively pursuing since coming to office in January. That's the story there, Mr. Newry. I just thought it was interesting, right? Yeah. Because a lot of people are talking about the Trump administration and some of the decisions that they've made as if the Bahamas is immune, right, to these policy decisions, that these are not things for us to talk about because they don't impact us at all. And I just thought that, in this particular instance, someone who had been what the article says, 3 times been removed from the country on 3 occasions before they were detained on May 16, 2025. Mm-hmm. Like, that's exactly who he's talking about.
That's Trump. The next thing I want to talk about, Aaron. Mm-hmm. We finished with that, hashing it out?
Yeah, also, I just wanted maybe to make a connection to an earlier comment where a caller called in and said that what he had heard in a discussion, I think, on a show on the Guardian platform, was that the ankle bracelet, electronic monitoring policy, that within that policy, that the companies are charging by the hour.
Really?
Yeah, and that made me think of what we call the prison industrial complex. And the caller indicated that we should not be making a profit in this, right? Like, this space here is not about making a profit. And then I remember being a part of a conversation. Now, when I say a part of the conversation, I was just on the periphery. The people talking wasn't talking to me, and I could acknowledge that with no problem. But somebody said that immigration is an industry, and it made me realize, well, look here, if it's an industry, then ain't no way they're gonna eradicate.
Let's pause now.
Eradicate
Talk
it.
about that. I wanted to move on, but immigration is an industry. Immigration makes money. We make millions of dollars in our immigration space.
Migration is an industry,
Not immigration?
not immigration.
Well, our immigration department manages our migration. So immigration is an industry. And I wanted to say that we make money through taxes. People come into the Bahamas through cruise ships, through overhead, or whatever it's called, people, transient people. We make taxes. We make taxes from the boaters who come in and out. We make taxes from work permits. If the people don't come to work, we can't make no money from the work permits. We make thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on work permits. So we need more workers to make some money on deed polls, changing those names. We make money on citizenships applications. What do you call it? Green card thing. We used to call that here in the Bahamas. We don't call
Residency,
it green card.
permanent residency.
Permanent residency. It's even just reproducing those cards. Immigration is big business.
Okay, pause. I went to AI, quick reference. AI said migration is a broad term encompassing the movement of people from one place to another, regardless of the distance or duration of the move. Immigration, on the other hand, specifically refers to movement of people into a new country with the intention of settling there.
Yeah, they settle.
Right, so pause. Migration could be an industry.
Yeah.
Immigration can't be an industry.
We making money
Because-
via immigration.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not denying that. In fact, I think it should be obvious to people that the bottom line, the economic profit has been centered in this immigration space, and all policies are rooted in one fundamental principle that money is the most important part of this process. That's just my feeling.
I just want to pause there for a brief moment before I move on.
But no, immigration nor migration, no matter how you define it, it should not be operated as an industry. And if you think it should, then look at the last, let's call it 50 years, and your country's inability to manage immigration. You know why they can't manage it? Because they treat it like an industry.
Yeah, it's an industry.
No,
Yes, that's
they
what we-
cannot manage it because they treat it like an industry.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get as bad as Turks and Caicos. They having a rough time with immigration. It's overwhelming there. I think the majority of their population is immigrants based.
Now look at the economy.
Yeah, it's fast.
They're very happy. They're very happy.
No, they ain't happy no more.
People are happy with the amount of money that they're making.
Yeah, but they ain't happy.
But they're not able to make it without the mic.
Yes,
See, that's the
they
thing.
realize that.
Right, they can't make it outside of that dynamic that they've created.
Yeah, they need immigrants there, and the immigrants just doing what they want to do there now.
So they get like a lack of enforcement.
They can't
issue there,
because
like
they're
it.
short of persons to police. The persons police are now immigrants too. They far gone. They far gone. But I want to talk about fires. In the headline, there's a family who's homeless today after an arson attack. Arson is a serious charge. I'm not sure why they concluded with that it is arson.
Who concluded?
Yeah, that's what I said. Let you read the story.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they concluded with arson, right? Because fire is bad, right? And nobody wants anybody to go through fire. But the term arson has been thrown around recently, increasingly, especially with all these bushfires. People are concerned in New Providence and by and large the entire Bahamas.
Once
People-
they didn't say spirit of fire because that's Pentecost and that
Pentecostal.
over. And,
Yeah. No, that's Pentecostal here. They're a spirit of fire still. But at this present time, Bahamians are concerned on whether there is a person or persons who are going around setting people, houses, things ablaze. There might be some credence to it. Like I said, the word arson has been thrown around, but nobody has ever come back and say, this is the reason why we think it is arson. These are the people who've been, when you have an argument with people, and this is why we think it's them. And I want to read the article. Hopefully this article suggests why the term arson was concluded with. I grieve with the family who lost everything. My God. Like starting over is a hard thing, right?
especially on the family island.
Especially on the family island. So I'm hoping the community and the Bahamas by large come and insist, right? I don't even know how, right? Because Red Cross normally comes in and give you some place to live for like a couple of days.
Find temporary housing.
Are there any temporary housing on the family island? Like, what do they do? Like, what's the... And I want to know the process. Not that I want to know the process for me, but for people listening that when they have loved ones who go through this, they say, hey, by the way, there is a system, and this is a system, right? But then just read that article, Aaron.
Today's Nassau Tribune: family homeless after arson attack. Blaze suspected to have started in garage, spread quickly, destroying home. Tears streamed down Janet Dorset's face as she clutched her loved ones in front of the charred remains of her family's 25-year-old Coral Heights West home, destroyed in a suspected arson attack. Mrs. Dorset and her family were asleep when they were awakened by the sound of a car alarm on one of her daughter's vehicles. The noise prompted her to go downstairs to check, but she was unprepared to find the car engulfed in flames. She quickly alerted her husband, and their 2 daughters ran downstairs in a panic. Quote, we were trying to put the fire out, but obviously it was too big for said, sitting on a plastic chair amid the ashes of her home. The family of 4 escaped through the back door and over a fence before the house was fully engulfed. Police said they were alerted shortly after 3 a.m. yesterday to a vehicle fire at a residence on Roberts Drive, Coral Heights West. On Coral Heights West. Fire services arrived to find the entire house and 4 vehicles ablaze. Despite police said they were alerted shortly after 3 a.m. yesterday to a vehicle fire at a residence on Roberts Drive, Coral Heights West. Fire services arrived to find the entire house and 4 vehicles ablaze.
So that's not a family island, that's here.
Yeah, it's not so. Okay, but which let's add that to the table right now.
Okay.
They got up, they looked down, they got up because they heard the car alarm go off, right? She looked outside, they were upstairs, they came downstairs, tried to put the fire out. At that point, one car is on fire, and then when the fire services arrived, shortly after 3 a.m., they arrived to find, and 4 vehicles ablaze. How long did it take them to get there after they called?
It's a far drive.
A far drive from where?
From East.
From the airport? This Coral.
The airport fire station don't necessarily have to, you have to request for them to come. The East Street fire station is the main fire station there. And then they dispatch to ask for help from other places. The nearest fire station there would be Life Key Fire Station. That's a privately run fire station, I think. That's behind me.
So there's a fire station at Lyford Key, and there's a fire truck at the airport.
Yeah. And they got to come from East Street.
But they have to come from East Street to put out the fire?
No, man.
Y'all is hire these people, and y'all keep paying these people, and for what? For what? So you could watch your house burn down? Let's continue reading from the article. Despite efforts to extinguish the fire, the home and vehicles were destroyed. Fortunately, all 4 occupants escaped unharmed. Police said they are still searching for the suspect, who was reportedly last seen wearing a white shirt and black trousers and is believed to have set one of the vehicles on fire. Tell us why you believe that. Because you have cameras from neighboring homes? You use CCTV footage in the area? When the Tribune visited the scene hours later, family and friends had gathered in support. Many were stunned that someone would intentionally set the fire. Family members are hoping for swift justice, with surveillance footage reportedly showing the arsonist entering the yard. Asked why someone would do this, Mrs. Dorset said she had no idea. Why they write these? I'm not asking why you write these stories like this. I'm not asking that at all. Family members are hoping for swift justice, with surveillance footage reportedly showing the arsonist entering the yard. Asked why someone would do this, Mrs. Dorset said she had no idea. Quote, I hope they read this and know that what the devil meant for evil, God is going to turn it for our good, close quotes. She said, quote, they need to be very careful because the revenge is not coming from me, it's coming from him, close quotes. Her husband, Dwayne Dorset, expressed gratitude that the family escaped unharmed, stressing that material items can be replaced, but life is a gift. He added that the home was insured, but they hope to rebuild in the future. Before this, the family said they had never experienced anything like this, only a few break-ins. A few break-ins?
Mm-hmm. They're also in the article, same article, similar. I want you to read from there. That's from The Guardian.
All right.
Don't compare and contrast.
There's also I think, an excellent letter to the editor. I'd love to follow up after we read this one.
Who wrote that letter?
It don't matter. One by name Frank Gilbert. I don't know who he is, but the letter has some very interesting information in it. I want to thank Mr. Gilbert for taking the time to express. Suspected in blaze at Coral Heights home, Nassau Guardian front page. Early Tuesday morning, Janet Dorset peered outside the window of her Coral Heights home to find her worst nightmare unfolding. Sometime around 3 a.m., a car alarm. If the fire didn't, the other story say the fire truck arrived shortly after 3 a.m.?
This is why I think I read the Guardian version.
Sometime around 3 a.m., a car alarm woke her from her sleep. And upon investigation, Dorset saw that the garage was on fire. Quote, I alerted my husband and my daughters heard the commotion and they came, close quotes, she said. Quote, we tried to put out the fire, but what we had wasn't sufficient. So it just quickly spread through the house. We managed to get out through the back. Dorset watched the home she had lived in for 24 hours, leaving her and her family with nothing. It's a lot because we lost everything, she said, noting they were all still in shock over the incident. We literally have just the clothes on our backs. Nothing was saved at all.
Wow.
Continue reading on page 5. Police suspect arson. According to their report, police were alerted to a vehicle fire at the home on Roberts Boulevard shortly after 3 a.m. When they responded, they found the entire home and all 4 vehicles engulfed in flames. Quote, despite their efforts to extinguish the fire, the residents and vehicles were destroyed, police said. Police said a man wearing a white shirt and black pants lit one of the vehicles on fire. Dorset said security cameras captured the perpetrator. I actually saw the tape, she said. I don't know why people would be so much hatred in the hearts of people. I mean, I don't know why somebody would do something like this. Dorset added, you don't just start a fire and expect everything to go smoothly, nothing to burn, nobody to get hurt. So whoever it is evil.
Clearly, they know the person. I'm going to say they. An individual in the house had an altercation between somebody. So nobody randomly comes to someone's house and
I mean, okay, so
you
first
think
of all...
people that happens? You know how far Coral Highway is?
Hold on. See, the people who commit arson,
Yeah.
and then they're arsonists, right? And let me say that. There are people who commit arson, and then they're pyromaniacs.
You think we are pyromaniacs around now?
Man, I grow up with at least 3 by them that had a predilection for lighting things on fire. in
Yeah,
the
but not
bush.
lighting people's house on fire, though. You know how far you got to drive to Coral Harbour to go light.
You think the boy drove there?
You think he live in the neighborhood?
I mean, I just hope he did, because that would make it far easier to catch them, right? And that we should have a report shortly, because the Minister of National Security was just on Morning Blend talking about, can't you all see the results of the CCTV cameras? Just the pun intended. No, we can't see. Pun intended. Anyway, let's go to the letter to the editor
Go ahead to the
in the
letter.
Tribune, written by...
Because I want, you know that they vandalized Dr. Fox's place.
Yeah.
He's saying it's politically motivated.
And they tried to vandalize Fred, too.
Yeah,
With
they
with that
vandalized.
fake-
They ain't trying.
With that fake voice note. I mean, that's definitely a fake... If y'all don't know that's a fake voice note, that's a fake voice note.
Behemoth fickle.
When Fred begins sounding like Bill Clinton.
Mr. Mitchell has a good, distinguished voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That wasn't him.
No.
Here we go. Needs for fire trucks and islands. Grateful yet again for the opportunity afforded me to be able to raise these several tidbits contained in the caption in anticipation of it being published for the benefit of the reading Bahamian public. This is written by Frank Gilbert. In making the case, I just would like to proffer remarks based on 2 criteria. The first, as a person familiar with firemanship. Secondly, having feel for what small populations will likely need to secure those environments in the family islands. So this boy has experience working with fire or fire service. I just wish to quote an initial construct that the commissioner suggested. The Commissioner of Police, Shanta Knowles, cautioned that even if the $12 million estimate was approved, the procurement will be slow. One engine takes 17 months to be completed, and shipping. The proposed fleet includes 4 tankers, 3 ladder trucks, and several fire engines. Just felt the need to furnish some facts about why the differences, usually called pumpers, because of the powerful motor-driven pumps capable of throwing 500 to 2,000 gallons of water per minute. Pumpers draw water from tank trucks, hydrants, or reservoirs and pump it through heavy hoses. Many pumpers carry 200 to 750 gallons of water in boost the initial attack on a fire. Continuing, the commissioner said that each of the truck or fire apparatuses would be fully outfitted with gear for officers. Now, as I ponder the numbers, I compare it to the feeding of the 5,000 in sacred or sacral scriptures. Definitely does need a miracle from on high to be able to increase the vehicular numbers for the needs that are acute, especially in the family islands. And here's the calculations, the tabulations. 1. Grand Bahama needs, and this is Frank Gilbert's estimation, Grand Bahama needs about 10 fire trucks and 2 aerial ladder trucks.
They ain't gonna get that.
If one is down, you'll have the other for a total of 12 fire trucks. 2. Exuma Island, 3 trucks will suffice. What's your prediction?
They might get a second one.
The Canadian, the Quebec.
They have to get donation of
Quebecies.
old trucks. They can't get no brand new trucks, man.
The man of the Quebecies, they got Ellen Coakley a whole new bus.
I wonder if it went over your head that they say it can take 17 months for the brand.
Oh, no.
If we come back to that.
I can be honest with you.
17 months before the first
What
truck
an
reached.
indictment. Listen, what an
Election
indictment.
come and gone by then.
Oh, no, what an indictment.
My Lord.
It takes 17 months for a truck to be commissioned, right? From you order it to they can
And we
send it to
ain't
you.
order it yet.
This
Few
is
people
it.
realize that yet. We
No,
haven't
that's the point I'm making.
ordered yet.
We could fire all you. All of y'all should have been fired right now. How many years has David's administration been in power? How many years minus the pandemic and COVID? Because you know those years don't exist no more, right? How many years since the Minnis administration been in power? How many years since the last Christie administration? And y'all get upset at me for asking how much money y'all spend at the 50th Independence Jubilee celebration?
We need to start begging to get old trucks.
Oh no, I thought we was gonna start begging for them to give us answers.
No, I stop asking them for things.
Okay. 3, Andros Island divided into North. North needs 3, and the South 3 for a total of 6 fire trucks. What about Mangrove
You say
Key?
this Gilbert?
Frank Gilbert.
He big eye. Because what he asking for, we can't do.
I like your eye, Gilbert. Don't mind this.
No,
boy.
this Mr. Gilbert.
They don't even have a truck for Mangrove Key. Mangrove Key needs its own truck, man.
No. They
4.
get one truck for the entire Andros. You got to go across from bridge. Or put it on a boat. Can't have no 3 fire trucks. Talk about North Andros have 3 fire trucks.
4, Abaco Island, 4 fire trucks. That makes sense.
Abaco is the most prepared island in terms of firefighting. Mind you, they only have 1 fire truck.
And
But they have a lot of water pumps.
you hear what you say? They most prepared. They can be the most prepared to leave
yeah.
the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Okay, Cat Island, 6. 3 for the North and 3 for the South. You see your phone line?
Nah, I won't listen to Gilbert.
Never mind. Gilbert making sense.
Caller, we coming to you soon. Don't hang up. We coming to you soon. But I ain't listen to Mr. Gilbert no more.
Okay, Long Island, 4 fire trucks.
They don't even have 1. I listen to Mr. Gilbert.
He's saying what they need.
I understand. I hear Gilbert.
Inagua Island, 3 fire trucks.
Man, in Agua, don't even have that much people. Need a water tanker. Just 1 water tanker.
Eleuthera, 4 fire trucks. Bimini Island, 3 fire trucks.
On that small island.
There's two islands.
Yeah, but the 1 fire truck they have there, they can't even maneuver. They can't go nowhere because the corners are so small. They got to be like a mile off and then.
Okay, Paul, let me just make this point for those people who are very upset at the critique about Bimini. It actually fits the definition of a shanty town. But here's the thing. You remember when Louis Bacon and Nygaard were fighting over the land? That's why Lyford Key is a shanty town too. Don't get your feelings hurt. It's a high-end shanty town. You can go to the phone line. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning to both of you, C. Alan Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a couple of points. You can have those fire engines and things. You just need an economic development plan.
Man, then we ain't gonna never get it. It's why you bust your bubble.
You kill it.
But see, I want us to make a note less than 180 days or so away from the second quarter of the 21st century. So we have to look at governance at minimum for the last 25 years. And it's about leadership. And I know people like these other people like to call about, F&M and PLP. The concept that we use political parties in don't change countries. Leadership in each of those parties, and we know how we are governed, almost like an autocratic or whatever method you want to call it, where the leadership makes the determination of the way the country is going. And we see this in Mr. Philip Ray Davis when he says, I now have the pen. I can write check for anything that needs to be done. And so you have to begin to look for the 25 years and ask if these things needs to be done and you haven't written the check or have written the check, why didn't you? And so as we look forward into our next iteration of the next 25 years, we have to ask, even if government doesn't have the money, who has the ability to bring together the community, Bahamians locally and the diaspora and the ideas to embrace the 21st century to allow us to put people to work so that we can generate the income that the government can tax to have the money to do the things that we need. And so that's the question that's ahead of us. I hear you talking about, shelters today.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear oftentimes people have this grand debate on the number of shelters we need. Do you know why you need shelters? Huh?
Tell me.
You need shelters when homes aren't built to the standard to withstand a hurricane or impending flooding or whatever it is that is done. So if we have a strategy that often uses 12,000 housing that we need, do you know the study that they use that 12,000 needed housing is from 1984, done by the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram? 1984. And so if you actually think that all things remain the same, and we need 4,000 houses per year, and we are building less than 1,600 of them. So let's flip the 4,000 and say, let's say we need 1,500 houses per year that we did not build. Housing, not houses, housing. That would mean today, right, we need 60,000 housing, affordable housing and access. If we look at the number of immigrants we have in the country on work permits, each one of them should be able to designate where they would be living according to our rules for work permit. So that's 60,000 or more housing units that we need to have within the country.
Okay.
And then we have bragging and celebration of individuals who say we built 10 in the year that we need 1,600.
Okay.
And so again, it's like we allow this marketing concept, but we live in the 21st century. And I'm saying to you, and I would love for you today, is that we can build those 5,000, 10,000 homes per year and bring down the cost of housing to as much to the current level of 50% of what it is.
I hear you. Mind you, Minister may build no house for that whole duration. And I have no confidence that Pinta them could build a house either. I'm just saying. That's just me. But I want to read in the record about...
I won't finish reading this letter, man.
We didn't finish that?
We didn't finish
we can talk about that. I thought we finished that. Let me get this caller first.
Yeah.
And then we can finish that. Because I hear Gilbert. I just saying, pay no attention to him no more. He big eye. But go ahead, caller. I didn't realize we didn't finish reading that article.
Hey, good afternoon.
Do you know, sir, who on the phone? I'm sorry. It can take 17 months. I'm talking to you, caller. It can take 17 months. Whenever we ain't ordered no fire engine yet, by the way. We have yet to order any fire engine, even though people said, yes, we ordered a long time. We really find out that we haven't ordered any fire engine yet. And when we order it, it will take 17 months for they to fix it, whatever they need to fix, and ship it to the Bahamas. Did you know that?
I know when breakfast
Call, I
snacks,
talk to you, where you
I
going?
feel like it takes 17 months for me to get my fire engine from them, too.
Call you
And
there?
the price is
Yes,
exorbitant.
I'm here. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead now. You can respond.
Yeah, you said almost a year and a half it takes for us to get a fire engine.
That's how long it takes.
From you order it to they get it till you get it.
Okay, but could somebody then explain how come there isn't any fire engine in the Michael and South Beach and
Policy.
other places where they have just explain it because
I
they
believe.
probably
Hold on.
never.
I believe they right there, and you can't see it because you blinded by your reckless distrust of government. I mean, that's what I believe for me.
Invisible fire truck.
I believe they there, but I can't see it because I don't trust
you know,
government.
That ain't good. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Aaron, but at the end of the day,
Cousin, what happened?
You still there?
Okay, go on. Repeat what you said.
yes, at the end of the day, we know there ain't no fire engines around, Aaron. Because if it can take you a year and a half to get a fire engine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's only one fire engine. That even in it does because if it's one fire engine can take you a year and a half, you could do the calculation what it can cost for 10 fire engines, right? Because that means we could possibly, this is the reason why we ain't getting no fire engine. But anyhow, when it comes to that situation inside in Coral Harbor, right? Coral Harbor, I think one time had a fire engine posted back in the day inside that area, right? But if our leaders ain't living in these areas where fire engine are, then we have to investigate that, because where are our leaders living? And
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment.
because they obviously ain't living in these communities where they aren't no fire engine, and that's inclusive with our family islands. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. There used to be a fire truck right out of Life in that, you know where the city market used to be? That pinkish plaza.
Yeah.
Before you get into Life. There used to be one. Then Life built their own fireplace. And then that one outside of
They had authorization to build it.
No, that's before
Shantytown laws.
I don't know. I just don't know. I just know Life have their own fire truck.
They have their own.
Yeah, the whole station, like how Paradise Island have their own police. And they have their own fire truck.
What do you mean Paradise Island has their own? They don't have their own police. You mean there is a Royal Bahamas police station?
You find out who's paying for that. And then also
What do you mean
fire.
find out who's paying for
and
it?
And then
I'm
also
not paying for the police on Paradise Island?
I don't know. You need to inquire. See? You need to inquire.
The ambulance.
Ambulance and fire.
Okay, ambulance and fire truck.
They don't come across the
What
bridge.
about the police?
They don't come across the bridge.
Them police don't come across the bridge either?
All of that is for that over there. All that for over there. Let's go to these callers.
If I had known you're like plantation living so much, I was going to run a plan. I could run it, you know.
Let's go to the next caller.
Not even like it, but I
Ambulance,
could
fire
run it.
truck,
Good morning, caller.
Go ahead, caller. Caller girl once. Okay. Call it line clear? No?
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get back to... Look at the phone line,
Okay.
Mr. Newry.
Let's go to the caller. Go ahead, caller. We're making space for you.
Hello.
Yeah, you're live.
The previous caller, I live in South Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in South Beach. A fire engine was always in our place. Because I don't remember the weekend, but a fire engine is always in our police station opposite and so. And Fire Boulevard, I think. I'm a Boulevard.
So you mean
No,
East Street?
They recall all the fire trucks to the headquarters now.
Okay, yes, because I don't see them no more.
Yeah. There's one in Carmichael, one in Fox Hill, one in off Prince Charles by Elizabeth Estates. They all be recalled to the headquarters.
For
Okay,
what?
because
I
there's
don't
a
know.
fire today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Recently in South Beach, and I called the show, and the person who called on the show said the fire engine was not there. But that same fire engine was held that night after 5 with the fire alarm by the poles. I even people call alone on few negative news that is not true.
Say that again. I'm not quite sure what you're saying because you need to turn your radio off or down.
Yeah, I was saying I don't want people call in certain areas who don't live in certain areas and talk about the person called on Nordic Show and said Nordic fire engine was never in that police station.
But there was one at one point. Thank you,
Yeah,
caller.
but then the fire happened later that evening, and the fire truck was right there since. And that's right across the road by the pool. So the houses could have got fire. But that fire truck came in use that evening. And the caller called that no fire truck is to be there.
I got you. Thank you.
Okay, let's first read that article, Aaron.
Okay, the letter to the editor, today's Tribune from Frank Gilbert. He is estimating vehicular needs for Family Islands. We now at Eleuthera, 4 fire trucks, Bimini, 3 fire trucks, Ragged Island, 2 fire trucks. I might think Ragged Island need 2 fire trucks.
They don't only have 40 families there, man.
Do they have as much as 40?
They don't need no 2 fire trucks.
No, but they have as much as 40?
Maybe 40 individual total on the whole island.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think as many as 40 family. But we're not disparaging you, Ragged Island. Crooked Island, 3 fire trucks. Acklands Island, 3 fire trucks. Rumkey, 2 fire trucks. San Salvador Island, 3 fire trucks. Note, I deliberately did not mention New Providence. They would need 35 trucks.
My Lord.
Because as the headquarters, it is anticipated that the bulk of the fire appliances will be stationed in the capital. And so HQ will be able to move them around as the need arises. There's also the necessity to build structures to double its firehouses. So I do believe that a more workable figure under all of this would be more like 20 million, not just 12 million, as previously figured. Just saying. Note in your deliberations, if I may, a water tanker, the water capacity should try for a 20,000 gallon water tank and not a 2,000 gallon tank. It's much easier to deplete the water contained therein, whereas a 20,000 gallon tank would more likely get much more of the fire accommodated. 2, also ensure that all of the non-ladder trucks were outfitted with 2 nozzle monitors atop each fire apparatus. For example, the recent Bay Street fire had the department had, say, 3 or such a fire engine, there would not have been the need to close the international airport and dispatch emergency firefighting equipment from there to downtown. Thank you for your considered contribution. Thank you for sharing your informed opinion with us. Don't mind Newry.
No, I appreciate him writing. And it's give us some insight that we need to now ask the powers that be. 17 months is a long time. Deny it's going to take 17 months.
I'd like to know who's going to fall on their sword.
And plus, we thought the fire trucks was ordered.
Long time. Who will fall?
Hold on. In fact, a minister said the fire trucks was ordered. Now we hearing that the commissioner of police said, no, we ain't ordered no fire trucks yet. Mm-hmm. I remember we had the discussion before, and they said no.
Now you think you think there's a miscommunication?
It's a miscommunication.
Because remember, Eleuthera and Exuma got fire trucks in the midst of this conversation. Maybe they misheard and misinterpreted what they heard.
Yeah. But the point is, it can take 7.
Oh no, the point is this is a horrible indictment on successive governments and policy.
Yeah, we acknowledge that.
Okay.
I want to read about the Dr. Fox.
Oh, sorry, I thought you was looking at that.
Fred Mitchell German about these attacks they're having on them and this AI thing. So I want to put that in the record.
All right, let's see. Was that Tribune? Here we go, Tribune. FNM Fox Hill candidate claims office break-in was politically motivated. You want to check the Guardian, see the stories in there. Dr. Nicholas Fox.
Read the Guardian, man.
There we go. Free National Movement, FNM, Fox Hill candidate Dr. Nicholas Fox said yesterday the vandalism of his medical office on Collins Avenue may have been done to intimidate him, not be certain. Fox's employees found the office ransacked on Monday morning. He said the perpetrators tried to access his desktop computer and stole tablets that hold patient information. Fox noted the vandalism happened just several days after he was ratified and added he got a, quote, tremendous, as we go to page 6, he got a tremendous response from the public, close quotes. He found it curious that, quote, stuff that contained information was taken, close quotes, but noted, too, that some cash was also stolen. Quote, it would seem like either it was done to intimidate me or it was done to get something on me to have some information, close quotes, Fox said. He continued, so by logical deduction and omission and the events that occurred prior to this makes me believe that it may be political. What are the events that occurred prior to that? Quote, I'm not saying that it is.
Not saying that it isn't.
It may be.
It may be.
And if it is, it's very sad. If this is the direction the election is going in, it's going to be sad and it's going to be turbulent. We don't need that in this country. We have enough violence. We have enough crime.
Two-story building, isn't it?
We don't need that.
The big clinic on by what would I call a name on the junction of Prince Charles and the big clinic.
Foxhill Road and Prince Charles?
No. The big clinic on Prince Charles and by Kingsway. What do I call the name? The name just escapes me right now.
You mean in the back of
the walk-in clinic? I don't want to call the name.
Oh, would we call that? We used to call that Bahamas Baptist Corner in Jean Street.
Yeah.
As we call that.
Yeah, the clinic there.
Oh,
isn't that 2-story?
Yeah, that looked like that's 3-story.
And
that's his office.
The person comes through the roof.
That's his office.
Yeah.
The person came through the roof.
The people come through the roof. They have cameras like dirt. I mean, you go there, they spot it. I mean, you spot it left, right, and center. They have lights all over the place. The people come through. And I'm not sure if you deal with money. You deal with money. You
No, I
use bartender.
I underemploy.
Where they to keep the money when they after the end of the shift?
They put it in a thing.
In the safe.
Yeah.
You know how heavy the safe. The money wasn't inside the safe. Big business.
But he said they only took some. Maybe the bulk of the money was in the safe.
You
and
don't
took
have
petty
money
cash.
outside. You put money in the safe.
But I mean, when you run things, okay, that's what I'm saying is not an indictment on the operations at the doctor's office. When you run things properly, you put the money in the safe.
safe.
Yeah.
When you don't, you get your money taken.
I mean,
That's all.
I wasn't going to say it like that, but a video provided by Fox showed a hole in the ceiling that the suspects might have entered or exited.
A video provided of the ceiling. Any of the ceiling? The people coming through the roof? I don't mind.
Fox said, quote, every morning when I get to work, I keep stuff in my office that the staff need to start the clinic going in the morning. So what you're saying is...
He need to check his staff. That's what he need to do.
Quote, when they walked in the office, the first thing they saw was the big hole in the ceiling and all the debris on the ground, and then the office was literally ransacked. Did they find a ladder? How they get back out the hole? Did they find a ladder? Quote, they had desks. They were searching for the stuff in my desk. They tried to hack into my computer.
They know where his
why.
desk is.
I don't know why, because it was on every evening. The man, they must have... That's my personal computer with personal stuff. When I say that, I mean patient information, etc.
My personal computer I take home.
He's misspeaking. Don't worry. He's misspeaking. He's misspeaking. He continued, quote, I'm misseeing. I ain't seeing it properly.
I let you read.
Quote, then they opened the filing cabinet
Yeah.
and we have the iPads that we do the daily registration on and patient information. Quote, they took all of those, every last one. Some files that I had in that were thrown about the floor. I don't think they read them or anything.
You don't think
But
they read
stuff
them?
was just disrupted. It was very disappointing. Quote, I guess you could say I was a bit angry because I didn't expect this. There's just nothing the average person would want in a doctor's office, these patient notes or stuff like that.
Aaron,
so
any minute
that was
now, you
troubling
see
for me.
people medical records on WhatsApp. Any minute now. And
But
they can
look
say,
here.
sorry. They can tell people sorry.
If Fox, a first-time candidate, is the co-owner of the Medical Center Group Clinics. Okay, so first things first. We need a advocacy group that lobbies for
Tell people say, stop it. You need someone to say, stop it. Stop it. Stop talking.
to ensure that we can enforce, that we create policies and legislation for the protection of information. Like, imagine if we had a data commissioner. Imagine if we had an office of the data commissioner's office, the information commissioners. Imagine if we had that. Imagine if we had a ministry like social services, information, and broadcasting. Imagine if we had these things and then we're able to create policies and platforms and systems to protect Bahamians and
Let's
their
take this quick break,
information.
and then we come back and just run through everything in the last 5 minutes. This guy, man down, mashup, where to stay, and we read some things and we just shaking our head and say, wow, stop it. Stop it. Stop talking. We'll be right back.
Live your fly, enjoy yourself. Live your fly. Beautiful Bahamas. 700 islands. My archipelago. Bahama Islands.
Sign up now for the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic. This is our 30th year, and we are doing it big. Sign up for 13 and under Tropical Gyro, 16 and under the Myers Group, Sun Oil, 20 and under in the Church Group, We Buy, You Sell, the Design Group in the Open Division, and for the first time, the Jamaica Bahamas Corporate Division. Competition begins July 14th to the 20th at the Hope Center. And then Kendall Isaacs. That's the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hoops instead of guns.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
For a medical facility, it's not enough to provide state-of-the-art technologies for the screening, diagnosis, and treatment of catastrophic illnesses like heart disease, cancer, or kidney failure, nor to have certified specialists for advanced medical procedures, a hybrid surgical and interventional suite, nor support services like imaging, lab, and pharmacy under one roof. The Medical Pavilion Bahamas makes them all affordable via its partner to Care Pavilion Bahamas, 72 Collins Avenue. Telephone 356-6666.
You work hard, you do your best, but sometimes a little extra support can make all the difference. At Fidelity, we offer personal loans to help with whatever financial challenges life brings. We offer quick, hassle-free, stress-free loans ready whenever you need it. Inquire and make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio AM. Of course, we get some text correcting us in terms of the location of the clinic. The clinic is on Collins Avenue. Dr. Fox's clinic is on Collins Avenue. No one tell me or confirm whether it's a 2-story building or a 1-story building and how they come through the roof. But anyway, I just want to make sure I make it clear. You know, on Collins, on Prince Charles, where I thought it's that one on Prince Charles, but it's actually on Collins Avenue there. Before we go, I'm not sure if you got that voice note with the people are purporting as being the honorable minister.
I got a voice note that sounded like Bill Clinton.
Yeah, say that's Mr. Fred Mitchell. And I've gone through a whole explanation, but it sounded a little bit like Fred Mitchell. And of course, you know, with all his voice notes, people are able to feed the voice notes into the AI. So we should expect
the deep fake. Okay, so like there's a particular space in the technology, they call it deep fake, right? Mm-hmm. Where they duplicate almost identically the voice of the person that they're purporting to be. Yeah. So here's a story released yesterday midday. Mm-hmm. Progressive Liberal Party PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell categorized the LGBTQ related clip that's making the rounds on social media with a voice clip purporting to be his as, quote, a cruel gimmick from, okay, let me just say this. The whole PLP administration right now feel like a cruel gimmick, Fred. I just saying. Quote, for clarity, it is not the voice PLP chairman. We agree. That is not Fred Mitchell's voice in that clip. And the content and production did not originate from the PLP, close quotes, Mitchell said in a statement. Now, that part there, I ain't too sure about, right? They show me the investigation, Mr. Mitchell, that proves that didn't come from a PLP party war room or camp. Quote, the material is nothing more than a mischievous abuse of today's technology and a cowardly attempt to promote discrimination. Quote, the PLP again warns the public that in this era of cutting-edge technology and a general election approaching, to be mindful of what is fact or fiction. Quote, under the strong and steady leadership of Prime Minister Davis, the PLP remains committed to the work and advancement of the Bahamian people and will not be distracted by the cruel and creative gimmicks of those desperate for power. Close quotes. You know what irony is? You know what irony is?
Like
they stock good in the PLP.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stock good.
But the idea is there's fake AI out there. We need to be more discerning this election. A lot of fake news is going to be out there. And we knew that was going to happen, actually. We've been talking about it, said, boy, this election is going to be muddy. Right?
Absolutely.
So we expect it to be bad. And then you see it coming out now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if any one of the political parties have clean hands, though.
That's it, right? That's it right there.
Yeah. They all seem to be just manipulating things.
I mean, and they all perpetuating the same behavior that they're denouncing. See, they denounce it when they are able to accuse their opponent of it. But then they turn around and look at us. When we critique them, they turn around and look at us and say, no, this is politics. You obviously don't understand politics.
Can dirty politics be cultural? Like this is a part of who we are? That we dirty? Be mucky?
Yeah.
That we like it, we enjoy it,
yeah,
we expect it, and if it's not dirty, we don't want it.
Well, these things seem to be ringing true, except for that last part there about if we don't want it. It's a pathology. It's an addiction. It's not about whether we want it or not. Like we're addicted to it. It's whether we are truly seeing the impact. That's it. Are we truly seeing the impact? Do we see the correlation between the speech of our state actors and what unfolds during the campaign? Do we see a correlation between the words of our policymakers and an increase or decrease in crime, right? Are we seeing these correlations?
Our politicals crass as a people, as a group.
Yeah, because it's not just that somebody decided to create Shane and Robin pulling train on the PLP. It's
that really irks you, eh?
It's that
you keep on bringing it up.
Because you know what pulling train is? It's a sexual act. It's a sexual act that hundreds and hundreds of young girls have been that's exactly what they expect you to do. That's what the groomer expects you to do. That's what the rapist expects you to do, to forgive and forget. It is one of the most heinous things that has happened in Bahamian politics.
Kermit, you can start playing the music. We're getting ready to go. Tomorrow, hopefully we get more information about this Bodas people. My contact didn't contact me back to say he coming on or not. I told him I just come, right? Anyway, this has been Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. We're going to the 12 o'clock break and the news. Have a wonderful day.
Eyes, fake friends are haters, dressed up in disguise.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.